Hey YouTube. Well, in Southeast Texas, summer's officially here. This is what summer's like in Houston. We'll go a long time without rain, and then we'll get 2 or 3 days of just torrential downpours, bordering on tropical depression. Yesterday, I took 3 different videos and was disturbed every time while trying to film by bird fights, kids running through puddles of water, knocking down my plants that are in the middle of the sidewalk, I must admit, and trying to chase feral cats off of bird nests or baby birds hidden in places that I can't even find them. So I ditched all my attempts to video yesterday. So let me start from scratch over here. Okay, everybody knows that's been watching, we had some really strong storms the last few weeks, including the one yesterday. I got another over a gallon of water in my little rain bucket, which wasn't as bad as the one from 2 Saturdays ago. That was close to 3 gallons of water. But anyway, okay, so these onions are doing really good. This garlic is not doing so good. It was doing good for a while, and I'm afraid that it just got too much rain on it. I had it underneath the apartment steps going to the apartment above me, so it wasn't getting a whole bunch of water on it, and I'm afraid the water that it did get was too much. I lost one of the plants. This potato plant is doing really well. This one is doing really bad. Yellowed leaves. Now, I have had somebody tell me that that plant is just about done, and I have some potatoes down there. I'm not so sure. If somebody knows, they've been in these pots now for, I guess, close to 3 months. I would be surprised right now if I have any potatoes down there, considering that this other plant is bright green and continuing to put out leaves, continuing to grow tall. I am suspecting a deficiency in something, possibly calcium. But anyway, right behind it with the wire trellis are my cantaloupes that have really taken off, and I put a trellis up just a couple of days ago and got them started in that, and I'm not kidding. Hope you can see this. Right there in the middle of the screen where they've wrapped their little tendrils around the wire, I did not do that. They did that in about a day. And upon finding that trellis, they put out those blooms that have not opened yet, but that blows me away. Kind of makes you think about how fast we live our lives as humans, and they're moving just as quickly in their reality. I don't know. I'm not going to get into a theological discussion about that, but that's pretty interesting. My red raspberry plant, as I described before, these 2 branches are doing really good. And if you'll look at their stalks, they're bright green and they're covered in tiny thorns. The original stalk, right here, started getting burnt edges of the leaves. Not literally burnt, but the edges of the leaves were turning brown and curling. And so I cut it back. and its stem, that branch, is dark brown. And I would think that that's normal, seeing that it's probably at least a year older than these for sure. But I wonder if anybody could tell me what's going on with that. The leaves would come out and be brown around the edges, almost like this one right here, but much, much browner, and they would start to curl and crumple. Now, I don't see any rust or evidence of rust on any of these leaves, so I'm not sure what's going on here, but I see traces on these other leaves of this brown, I don't know if it's a fungus or what, but if somebody knows what that is, can tell me what's going on with that. I cut my blackberry vine back way back several weeks ago, and it has roared back to life, and I have been really watching to make sure that I don't see rust coming back on it either, and so far so good. And I put this trellis in the same that I put these two in, and it immediately took off. I don't know what it is that makes them realize that they're growing up instead of growing out. But as soon as they know that they can grow up against something, it's like they kick it into high gear. It's really amazing. This potato plant was the one that got just totally eaten up with snails. I dispatched all the ones I could find, and I broke down and went and bought some snail poison pellets. Hated doing that. Have been trying to do the organic thing this whole time, but I mean, this is ridiculous. So, and let me show you this. This is the type of yellowing leaf that I was getting on that other potato plant over here that I ended up cutting way back. So, can someone tell me if this is disease or if it's a deficiency? Like I said, I'm suspecting that it's a calcium deficiency, and I've already added some calcium, but I haven't seen any changes yet. I know it takes several days. Okay, I moved these onions over here to get some more sunlight. I don't have holes in the bottom of this container, so it filled up with water. So I've been trying to pour the water out and not losing soil at the same time. That didn't happen because we got two huge downpours in the same day. So I'm going to have to put some more dirt in here, but they don't seem to be doing too poorly after that. Here are the other ones. These are doing much better in this container, and I just put them next to these. Unfortunately, all the unwanted stuff is growing just as well, because I'm sure the Mittlider weekly feed that I'm putting out is getting distributed all over the place here. Now, I do like those 4 o'clocks growing right there, and that plant right there may be one that I got from my grandmother, who has passed away several years ago now, but I did put some out here last year that didn't do anything, and all of a sudden this one showed up this year out of nowhere, but it's the only one that came up. So I don't know. There are 4 o'clocks all over this property, just growing wild. So I'm not sure what to think about those, but the onions are doing fine, and I suspect I'll get quite a few out of here. I'm not seeing any come up out of the ground yet, but it's still pretty early. So, okay, moving on. This upset me. This used to be filled with strawberries, and I'm famous for killing strawberries. So I pulled the strawberries out, did some resodding in there, and added some tomato starts that were doing very well. Um, the tomato starts took off within just a few days, and we're doing all right. And then we got hit with that big storm a couple of Saturdays ago, and I had one, it's right here, that hung on, and I just don't think it's going to make it. If it does, it's going to take forever to come back from this. It just got the snot beat out of it. Could have been hail, could have just been massive rain. But I'm probably going to put some lettuce in here, maybe a couple of heads of lettuce, maybe 3 if I can fit it in there. My dill is still hanging in there. I don't have any place to put it, so I'm trying to keep it in that pot and keep it fed. This is one of my lettuce starts from another batch that's just hanging on. I don't even know why I keep messing with it, but I'm going to give it a little more time to establish itself. It's been in my little plastic greenhouse for probably 3 weeks. So maybe getting out here and getting some full-on sun is going to help it. This is the famous navel orange tree that has been dumped out of its container twice now and shows no signs of damage at all. This is the number 2 navel orange tree. It has oranges on it. Not as many as this one, but this one's probably going to drop a bunch in the next week or so. That's my bolting lemon basil, and the boxwood basil with the real tiny leaves are back behind it. That stuff's great, by the way. If you ever see it someplace or want to grow it, it's great. You just pick the leaves right off the plant and cook with it. There's no cutting it up or anything. The Sun Gold tomatoes, they're a cherry tomato variety, but they're heirloom. Fantastic tomato. They have a huge, big taste for such a small tomato. They turn orange, they don't turn red. Just a great taste. And I've said before, I'm not a big fan of tomatoes, but man, these things taste good. They're very sweet, have a big, bold taste. It's surprising the amount of flavor that comes out of that little bitty thing. I am concerned that I'm getting, now this limb was messed up in the storm, but I am concerned that I'm getting this type of stuff going on. Now, I don't know if this is a virus. I've tried to look online. I don't know if this is a virus or what. But if somebody could identify that for me, the leaf on the edge is dried up, turning brown. I didn't see any kind of blight. There's no spots on this at all. It's just like the leaf just starts dying and it crawls up the branch, and the branch just kind of dehydrates. I've been cutting it off and taking it off whenever I see it, and I don't know what to think. So if somebody knows what that is, they could let me know. I'd appreciate it. Fig tree's doing fine. Wish I had some land to plant it in, get it out of this little pot. The Italian plum tomatoes are doing well. Haven't eaten any of these. They haven't ripened up yet, but I'm looking forward to trying these. They're supposed to be a really good one to make tomato sauce from. So we'll see. My plum tree continues to put out new leaves. I just wish I would have had some plums this year, which I'm not going to have because of the aforementioned storms, which knocked every blossom off of it. This is the other fig tree that I have. It's doing really well and has grown a lot since I bought it. Traditional basil, I'm just gonna let it bolt. I've eaten some leaves off of it. It's great, but I'm just gonna let it bolt, and I'll try to get some seeds from it. Eggplant, I see some possible flowers coming out from it, so we'll find out here probably in the next 3 or 4 days what's going to happen with it. Jalapenos, and I have several on this plant. I think I've got 5 or 6, maybe 7 on here. More onions. My my little tiny blueberry tree is starting to add on some new limbs. I thought I was going to lose it. I added some used tea bags that was suggested by somebody to increase the acidity in that soil, and it looks like it's responded to that. My almond tree just continues to do fine, but again, I'm not going to get anything from it because it lost all of its blossoms in one of those storms. My small caracara has got a few fruit on it. I don't expect it to carry very many because it is such a small tree, but you know, that's okay. This is the page mandarin, and it does have several fruit on it. Don't know what to think about how much it can carry or how much it will carry. It's kind of a strange shaped tree. It's got one tall stalk here and then another one that I don't know why the nursery let this one grow out. It grows out about as far out from the stalk as the thing is tall. So I don't know what to think, but it does have a piece of fruit way out here on the end, so I'm not going to mess with it unless it starts looking like it's damaging the tree. My sour orange tree is covered with little sour oranges again. It's stopped blossoming, but the bumblebees loved that, and my navel oranges. They were around here all the time, and now that it's not blossoming, they're not here anymore. Okay, I've got a patio tomato that's got tomatoes on it at the bottom and some up at the top. This is the Parks Whopper. This is the one that took the nosedive off of the stone table that it was sitting on top of. And it's got tomatoes all over it. We'll see how well it does, how well they taste, how good they taste, how well they taste. There's a few look like they're gonna start ripening up here pretty soon, and I still have some little ones that are coming on with a few more blossoms. And again, some more peppers. These are yellow banana peppers, and I really like those. I want to try to make some pickled banana peppers. If I can, I got to figure out how to do that. Some more tomatoes over here. These are the other cherry types that I got. These are the hybrids. I think they're the Sweet 100s, and they taste really good too. This is my Swiss chard that I grew from seeds. The other eggplant. My other tomato plant. This is the other cherry tomato that's the heirloom. The one that's down there, the sun gold, this is the same kind. And here's again this potato plant that was doing great last week, and now all the leaves are turning yellow. Don't know what's going on here. Again, if somebody can tell me what they think is happening. The leaves are wilting, turning yellow, have a few brown spots, but I think the brown spots are happening after the leaf is already diseased or whatever's happening to it. This one seems to be doing the same thing, but I'm kind of puzzled. My gardenia looks like it's fixing to explode with a bunch of blooms, which would be really nice. Pomegranate continues to do fine. My improved Meyer lemon is covered, literally covered in lemons. I don't see how it's going to carry all this fruit. So I'm halfway expecting it to do what the navel orange trees do, which is drop a bunch of this so I don't have to thin it out on my own. The eggplant that I put in the ground seems to be recovering from the assault from a bunch of snails that I've dealt with. Swiss chard continues just to grow like crazy. It's amazing. It's almost as tough as nut grass or something. You just can't kill the stuff. I planted another watermelon, which is in the center of the screen, and then those two, they're either peas or Italian pole beans, and I can't decide which they are from looking at the leaves yet, but they're growing up those tomato towers. We'll see how those do. They get morning sunlight, and that's about it. But the sun here is just brutal once summer gets going. I mean, it's brutal. The mesclun lettuce little starts that I put out, they're hanging in there, as is that one pepper plant back in the back that got eaten up by snails down to the stem, and it's trying to make a comeback. These are the lettuce starts, and the spinach starts. Finally, looks like I'm going to get some spinach that's going to make it past the their leaves that come out when they first come up out of the ground. This lettuce, there's probably 6 or 8 plants that are doing well enough that I can put them in the ground, but I just continue to feed them and water them in here. My carrot starts, I put out, and the first day they did not like being outside. A bunch of them wilted and died. I put these out today, rewatered them, and they got a little bit of direct sunlight. I kind of moved them around all day to make sure that they were shaded. These look like they're going to do okay. These look like they're going to die. Oh, look. I love that. Got some more peppers coming on this plant. Finally have peppers coming on this plant. These two are the same age. This one has put out 2 or 3 large peppers that I've already gotten off the plant. This one hasn't done anything, but it looks like it's going to now. I just got these 3 to replace that one right there, which the storm just bashed, and it got knocked off of here when the orange took a dive.